Joining me live from Abuja is the convener of the Not Too Young to Run movement, Samson Itodo. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good evening.
All right, now you've come a long way since the signing of the bill into law, but just beyond that critical moment, how much progress will you say the movement has made, at all levels of government in this political season, looking at it?
I think the movement has made tremendous progress. First, it's just even renewing the faith of young people who had lost faith in democracy in our democratic institutions. And we've seen over the last couple of months and all through the Not Too Young to Run, that young people have renewed their faith in democracy. That's first. The second, we're beginning to see a lot of young people indicate interest to run for office. For the very first time, we're seeing under 25s actually indicate interest to run for office. We're seeing under 35s also running for office. We've seen young people who are under 40s now running for office. This was never the case before the bill was passed into law. The third stream of revolution that we are seeing is we're beginning to see a lot of young people actually questioning public leadership and want to add value. And that is why they are demonstrating interest to run for office. A lot of them were members of the major political parties. And you know that the party primaries were signposted with all forms of thuggery, imposition of candidates. But they were resolute, and they went to other parties and secured the candidature of those parties. And we can see from today's meeting with this convergence, which is a first, actually, where you've got over 400 candidates from 91 political parties coming together under one roof, convened by the Not Too Young to Run movement, to have conversations around the 2019 elections and seek ways of how to win these elections. And these young people are actually running to win. They're not just running to win because they are young, but they are running to win because they've got character, they've got competence, and they've got capacity to provide the excellent public leadership that Nigeria so desires at this moment.
Yes, I hear what you say, but I'm looking at those who are running for president, for instance. Let's just take that category. Very few of them are below the age of 40. So is this a movement for the future, or, how are you seeing it? I'm talking about the politics of today now, rather than what you hope it to be.
There are two streams to this. First is the fact that you've got young people even considering to run for the office of the president. It's something that is quite remarkable. It was never the case before, because you had a constitution that said, hey, you needed to be 40 before you can aspire to run for office. We're beginning to see more younger people who are indicating interest. So I think that it's a work in progress. Democracy itself is a process, and so we're on this journey together. The second stream is a revolution. The foundation has actually been laid for a revolution, and we're seeing young people indicating interest. Our agenda as a movement is for the state houses of assemblies and see how we increase the number of young people actually come to the state house, secure seats in the state house of assemblies, as well as the House of Reps and the Senate for the 2019 elections. And if possible, and if Nigerians are very desirous of a younger president in 2019, we've got young people who are over 40, although they are not within the youth age category, but you can still consider them to be young compared to the candidates of the two major parties
Mr.
who are in their 70s.
Let me just
and that foundation for us has been laid, and we know that the revolution will take place very soon.
Let me just ask you quickly to come back to today's event, the Convergence. What is it? Is it a political alliance, influence group for 2019? Some are beginning to speculate, in political language, we see alliances, people coming together. What exactly is the Convergence?
The Convergence is a very, very historic meeting of youth candidates. It's never happened before where we've got over 400 candidates converge under one roof from the 91 political parties. And what the movement sought to do was, after the struggle to reduce the age for running for office, it brought candidates together to inspire them to build that network of young people who are running. But most importantly, is to be inculcating them the values of the kind of leadership that Nigeria needs. Nigeria needs a leadership paradigm that prioritizes the common good and the interest of the people. And this was a unique opportunity to have conversations around the fact that leadership does count and what kind of leadership Nigeria needs. But even more importantly is how to run for office. We had younger people who had contested elections, who had won, who are members of the House of Reps, share their experiences on campaigns, on mobilizing resources for running for office. There was a fantastic experience that was shared by members of the National Assembly today. We've got someone who ran for office in Kenya. We've got the youngest member of the Ghanaian parliament who also shared her experience of how she won her elections. And a lot of, and if not all the youth candidates who are participating in this conference have expressed great optimism and are really energized to go into the field to get the votes that they need to win the elections for the common good of the people. And it's important to emphasize that what the movement is doing as a non-partisan movement that is committed to inclusive democracy and democratic accountability, we will continue to provide a framework for every young person who is interested in running for office to come, build their capacity, and launch out to provide the change that Nigeria needs.
All right, thanks so very much, Mr. Samson Itodo, convener of the Not Too Young to Run movement, for joining us on the news at 10 tonight. Thank you.